Hello.
Hi, welcome to Intertwined Stitches. This is episode 12. I'm Lakshmi, also known as Knitter by Nature.
And I'm Stephanie, also known as XCO Mom.
And I believe it is November 5th,
Correct.
2013.
Election day. Get out there and vote. Although you're not going to see this today, so you should have voted yesterday. Yeah. Episode 12.
Yes. And it's the weekend after Halloween.
Yes.
Or the week after. We didn't actually end up recording on the weekend, so it's Tuesday. So that was a lot of fun. Our town does this great little Halloween party where everybody brings in food to share, and they donate candy. So all the kids go trick-or-treating around the town green, and they meet up with their friends in the town hall and have a bite to eat. And
chaos ensues.
Yes.
I brought soup this year, and when I went to get it back, it was almost all gone. And the woman who runs it was like, "You can make this for me anytime." I'm glad you liked it.
It's good that it was appreciated.
Yes. Yeah, how was your week other than that?
We didn't really do much except go up to Rhode Island this weekend. It's
Well, that's
becoming
fun.
kind of regular. Every few weeks we've been driving up there to see my sister and my mom. But I shouldn't have brought any hand knits because whenever I
Because they
see my
snatch 'em up?
family lately, I walk away with none. Yes, my sister talked me into giving her my new red laurel wood hat.
No! Really?
Yes.
She must be one heck of a sweet talker.
So my littler sister, I was feeling kind of guilty, and she was pushing the guilt trip on me that she didn't get any hand knits when my other sister did. And look how much she got. And then my mom's all like, "Lucky you!" And my sister just said, "Christmas is coming!" So now I have to knit my mom something for Christmas. Not sure I was planning on doing that, but now it looks like I have to.
Wah, wah.
Somebody needs a hat.
Hats are relatively quick, though.
They are.
Especially for you. You're pretty speedy with the hats.
It's always hard for me to find the right pattern, though. It can take me hours to find the right pattern and the right yarn to go together to make a beautiful hat, just for that right person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want it to mean something, I guess. I'm having that problem. A friend of mine is having a baby at the end of January, and I really want to knit the baby a sweater, but I can't seem to find the right pattern, and I want it to be a nice yarn, but not something that isn't hand washable, or that isn't machine washable, because she's already got a 2-year-old, and I'm like,
Yeah, you
I
want it
just
to
can't.
be easy.
Yeah. So I'm like, I want it to be wool, I don't want it to be acrylic, because I want it to be nicer, because she is a very good friend, and she's always very generous with her gifts, so I want to make, and I'm having that problem where I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to make. Anyways, our week was fairly uneventful. My son got strep. We went to the doctor last Friday, and they told us it was negative, and then Monday afternoon they called, and they were like, "Oh, just kidding, it's positive."
Oh,
the cultures
great.
came back positive. So I had to go and take him out of school, and then he had to stay home for the day after that, because he has to be on medicine for 24 hours. But it was kind of nice, because when he doesn't have to go to school, then we all get to sleep in. And then everyone's in better moods that day. So it was a pretty chill week. The other two spiked fevers on Friday, and because they told us that it wasn't strep, I didn't really worry too much. I was just like, oh, they must be getting some sort of bug that the big guy has. So then whenever they called and said that it was strep, then I took them all to the doctor and got them tested, but they were negative. And they didn't call and say the cultures were different. So that's nice. And then I got sick. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow.
Let's hope it's not strep related.
Yeah. But other than that, we did trick-or-treat, like Lakshmi said, and that was a lot of fun. I made my son, I'll just move right into the FOs.
Sure.
I made my son, my youngest son, a purple minion hat, which I'm glad I took lots of pictures before, because while we were trick-or-treating, he kept taking the hat off, and he lost the eyeball. But here's the body of the hat, with its crazy hair and its little mouth. Yep, there we go. It had an eye that I didn't sew on because I didn't want it to be tighter than the rest of the hat. If that makes sense. I didn't want it to be constricting at the top. So it was kind of like a headband that kind of sat on top of the hat. And we were halfway through trick or treat, and I'm like, Jeff, where's Owen's hat? And he's like, oh, here. I'm like, where's the eyeball? And he's like, I don't know. And our town does not have street lights where we were, so I couldn't even like go back and find it. I was devastated. My husband's like, you could just make another one. Like, you know, like, I just click my fingers and it happens. I was like, come on. But I made that guy. He was pretty cute wearing it. He kept going, Minion, And then I got a new crochet hook the other day, so I had to try it out. I made my son a roly-poly kitty. Super cute.
He's so cute, so tiny.
He's really little. I really wanted to make this one because I got a swap package this week, which I'll just go ahead and show that now too. And she gave me this little haunted house, and inside was they've been very well played with, so they're kind of dirty, and they're, my boys are boys. A little ghost, which glows in the dark. This is glow in the dark yarn.
That is so cool.
He's fantastic, and I want glow in the dark yarn. And she made a little kitty too, and he's even smaller than my kitty.
Aww.
I'm like, how on earth did you make such tiny? I used a bee hook, and it's still smaller. And a little bat. And a little pumpkin. Isn't he cute? And a tiny candy corn. And she gave me a whole bunch of goodies, like Halloween stuff, and a box of Nerds, which is my favorite. And a skein yarn, which I think I left upstairs. And a bunch of stuff for the boys, stickers and pencils and bouncy balls and skeleton parachute guys. And it was a very nice swap. Thank you very much. You know who you are. Thank you, La Chapa. So, oh, and I have a hoe. I finished a fingerless glove. It is the Rockstrata Mitts pattern.
Those are very rockin'.
And they're not perfect. I was doing my slip stitch wrong up until here, and then I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to do it this way. So then it looks right from here, but here it doesn't. But oh well. So that's one, and I think I'm going to inverse the colors next time, so the parts that are blue will be hot pink, and the hot pink will be teal. Blue, teal, whatever it is.
That will be cool.
So, that one done. And I kind of like how, like, when it's flat, it kind of looks like an S. In my head, anyways. And those are by Josh Reichs. He's sort of a knitter on Ravelry, and he has his own podcast, Sort of a Knitter. He's adorable. I think just want to pinch his cheeks. He's just adorable. Yeah. So you have finished object?
I do. I have one. I have a hat. It's getting cold out here in Connecticut. So we were going through the hats, and I decided my boy needs a new hat. So I picked this pattern that was really simple and fast, and it is Barley by Tin Can Knits. And I just happen to have some orange yarn that was left over from a sweater I made for myself. And the child size took 110 yards of yarn, so that's the size I made. So the whole time I was knitting it, I was worried that it wasn't going to fit him, because it's for a size 20.5-inch head. And then as I was knitting it, I'm like, Sadie, come here, let me measure your head. Oh, it's 22.
Uh-oh.
So the hat is a little bit small, but he doesn't seem to care, and he loves wearing it.
It's
so,
cute.
Yeah. And
I like how simple it is, yet I like it. It's visually interesting.
And then I started another hat using the Barley numbers, but I'm not going to put in the garter ridge section. I'm just going to knit stockinette around for my husband, and that's what I'm starting to knit now.
What's that out of?
This is out of Kramer Yarns for Perfection.
Okay.
In the cobblestone colorway, I believe. And I'm using, it takes size 6 needles for the brim, and then you switch to size 8s.
Nice.
So that's 4.0 millimeter and 5.0 millimeter.
Nice.
Yeah, and I have a couple other things on the needles, not very much. I'm still working on my socks on a plane. I'm calling them the earthy socks on a plane because they're knit out of Cherry Tree Hill finger paints in the middle earth color. And I worked all the way down the foot and started the increases for the gussets.
Very cute.
And I love how it stripes, and you also see these pops of green throughout.
Very nice.
And that's the back.
So are you liking that Cherry Tree Hill yarn?
I do. It's a little bit loftier than, or denser, I should say, than other sock yarn that I've used before. So
I almost used my Cherry Tree Hill to cast on last night.
To cast on what?
This trillion.
Oh, but I love the yarn you chose.
I know, isn't it awesome? I love it. I'm so excited about this project. This is one of those projects where, like, I started it last night before bed, and then I couldn't wait to wake up, like, to get up this morning and get all my stuff done so that I could work on it some more. Do you ever have projects like that? Where you're like, I just want to knit it.
And you don't even want to sleep. You just want to stay up all night knitting.
Do you have more works in progress?
I have one more. I've been working on the Color Craving Mystery Cowl by Stephen West. Still, last time I had showed you I had just finished Clue 2.
Yeah.
And I started Clue 3 this week. Let me get this where it's in a place I can show you.
That was a big bump.
It's kind of in the middle. Yeah, let's hope there's nothing going on up there. So this middle section was Clue A, where it had the A and B colors striped, and this was color C, and now I'm back to color B. But you can hardly notice the color variation though, unless you're like direct sunlight or something, because it's kind of close in color.
Yeah.
There's yellow green of color C, and it's more of a blue green with some dark yellow green spots in it for color B. So I have to
It's definitely subtle.
work, it's like 400 stitches every row.
Woo.
So I have a ways to go, and these come out quite huge, so I might be working on this for a while. And I do have another shawl coming up, so I just ordered another pair of size 6 needles because I knew this was going to take forever and I didn't want to take it off the needles.
And that's the Traveling Woman you have coming up?
I do. I just ordered yarn, the new Knit Picks Diadem. That's, it's half baby alpaca, half
Silk.
mulberry silk.
Yes, that's going to be awesome.
Yes. So I'm going to make a large Traveling Woman shawl out of this variegated pink color called Garnet.
It's pretty.
And I just placed an order the other day, so you should see some Knit Picks enabling next week.
Yeah, we went in on the order together, so there'll be like lots of knit picks next time. I ordered all my yarn for Christmas presents.
I was starting to do that. Starting to think about felted clogs and hats.
I'm keeping it simple this year. I'm just doing washcloths and special soaps to go to people because...
That is simple. That's great.
It's easy. It's not as stressful. Sometimes I feel like I'm stressing out about what I should be knitting for everyone for Christmas, and it ends up not being fun. And it's like, why bother? Why do it if it's not going to be fun?
Well, this year my husband requested that I knit his bosses something for Christmas, so they're going to get something lovely, I'm sure.
Yeah. My work's in progress. Like I said last night, I cast on a Trillion by Martina Bem, and this is what I have so far. I cast on out of Bohemian fiber or something. I don't know. It didn't have a ball band. I got it on D-Stash on Ravelry. I showed it before when I got it, but this is what it looks like all caked up. There's tiny little blips of black in there, which in this game look like it would be more of a presence, but it's not. There's just tiny little pops of them in there. So that's what it looks like. I am loving this. The yarn is kind of thick for a fingering. It's like a heavy fingering. Maybe light sport. But I really like it. I'm knitting it on size 6 needles, which these are my new needles that just came yesterday. I got them from eBay. They're the Chinese needles that everyone keeps talking about. Oh. They've got a really nice join, and the cables are like the Chalgu Reds, where it's like the metal, and it has no memory, I love them. I love them a lot. It's really light. Here, you want to hold the whole thing? It's really light. And it has like a slight bend right at the join where it fits comfortably in my hand. I really like them. I like them a lot. And it was only like $6.50 for them. And I got, I don't know, like 9 needles or something. A whole stack of them.
From like China or something?
Yep. I got them on eBay.
That's awesome.
Try to put the link. Yeah, it was like less than 50 cents a needle with shipping. And it goes all the way down to 000.
And even if you don't like care for, they're not your favorite needles to knit with, you can always use spare needles.
Exactly.
In different sizes to hold stitches and stuff.
And I really like them. For
that price.
Yeah. That's crazy. I told Lakshmi I'm going to buy her some for Christmas. Part of her Christmas present.
I could use new needles.
There's that. I really like how the lace part's working out. It's like very crisp and like I haven't even
pretty.
blocked it yet. You can really see it. So there's one work in progress. I have been working on my sockhead hat, although I cut the ribbing short because I just couldn't stand it anymore. And I started the stockinette. I got a couple inches done.
It's probably better that you did a short ribbing because when I wore the stockinette hat, it always looked, the sockhead hat, it always looked better when the rim was folded up. So it was like a 2-inch rim.
That's what I figured too. And I really like how the yarn is like, it's kind of swirling, like the pooling is swirling in stripes. I think it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So
that's half of the fun of it is just watching how the stripes appear.
And that's out of my Kirby Werby yarn in the Halloween Michael Myers colorway. Which on Halloween we came home after we put the boys to bed and we put on Halloween and I sat there knitting it. It was wonderful. And now that Halloween's over, I'm like, oh, I really liked this hat during Halloween. But I am still working on it. It's in my purse. It goes wherever. Standing in line, waiting for my husband's car to have its malfunction taken care of. His car had a recall on it, so we had to take it to the dealership on Saturday. And it was so busy, we had to wait like 45 minutes for him just to come to our car after dropping it off. It was crazy sauce.
Is that all you're working on?
No. I also cast on a pair of fingerless gloves. These are knit flat. They're called the Fable Fingerless Mitts by Slan Parker. Something like that. However you pronounce it. And this is out of Rustic Wool DK, and it doesn't have a color name. It's just purple.
Nice.
And that's how much I have done. It has a little button tab, and it has a little decorative button. They should be pretty quick, but I only worked on them for like one night and then put them down. But I need to pick them back up again. I was on a fingerless mitt kick this week. I actually cast on 3 different pairs. I cast on an owl pair, but the needles and the yarn didn't work well together, so I had to frog them.
Aww.
And I worked on my Jenny cardigan a little bit. I'm going to try something that I saw on Instagram so that you can see the lace. Somebody said use your iPad as a light screen behind the lace so you can see it. Oh, I'm in the middle of the row. So I'm going to try this to see if you can see a little light. Maybe a black light. There we go. So here is the lace portion. Let's see if you can see that any better than when I just hold it up. So there's that. Got a couple rounds done on it. Maybe if I do this. There we go. So there's that.
Starting to come together.
Yeah, I've got, I don't know, maybe 6 inches done. But it's slowly coming. It's not going to be a speedy project. I knew it wasn't going to be.
I haven't worked on my rogue at all since my needle broke last week.
Right.
So I'm just waiting for a new needle. And then you guys haven't seen Citron in a while because it was, when I went to Rhinebeck, I noticed it was a big tangled mess of a skein of yarn. So until I get that figured out, it's in the timeout file.
That's always sad. Wah, wah. So I have a little bit of stash. Oh, you have spinning. You want to talk about your spinning?
Oh, sure. I am spinning the same thing as always. It's the Just Fibers Merino in the tea, toast, and cake colorway. And the braid's getting smaller.
It is.
So
The bobbin's getting fuller.
right now it's transitioning from this pink to an orangey pink and then to a purple. So you can see this is how much pink I had at the beginning of the bobbin. I'm working this way. And now it's a little bit orange, and then when I get to the purple, it's going to start to transition back into the purple.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, and
I'm
you know,
excited to see the finished yarn.
I'm working on it. Spinning, when you're spinning fine, it takes a while.
Indeed. So, like I said, I fed the stash. I went to a friend's house for lunch on Friday, and afterwards, she lives in Millerton, which is in New York, but it's only a couple towns over from us. And they have a fantastic tea shop there called Harney and Sons. Harney and Sons. They have fantastic tea. And I was like, boys, we're going here. So we went to the tea shop, and I got a couple new teas, one of which I'm drinking. It's delicious. If you guys are big fans of tea, I suggest you go. They sell online. I think it's just harneyandsons.com. Google it. I don't know what it is. But they're really reasonably priced and delicious. And then across the street is a alpaca store called Copper Star Alpaca. I don't know if you can see that. Our screen went black, so we don't know what's on there. And I was kind of disappointed in the shop. I thought it was going to be like a yarn store, and I knew it had hand knit things in there, but I figured it would be like local hand knit things. And when I asked her if she has people knit things for the shop, because hello, I would do that. She said no, they get all their hand knit stuff from Peru.
Okay.
But they had a little section in the back corner of 100% alpaca yarn, so I picked a couple of things up. I'm going to make a colorwork hat out of this. This is 100% baby alpaca. I don't even know what brand this is because they put a big tag over it. But I got an ivory color. And this one is, again, why would you put the tag? The Alpaca Yarn Company, and it is also 100% alpaca, super fine alpaca, in the campfire color.
Oh wait, is that like sport paint?
It's DK.
DK.
Yeah. It's very pretty. The whole store smelled like patchouli, and it was like 900 degrees in there. I kid you not. It was so hot in there. But I'm going to use these two as a colorwork hat. I think it'll be pretty, very soft. My boys are making some weird noises out there. And I also picked up a new crochet hook. I had never had one of the Knitter's Pride crochet hooks, and I really like it. That's what I crocheted the little kitty on. So that's, and my needles, but I already talked about those.
Oh, and I got something from Stephanie. I was really liking the yarn she used for her Starving Artist hat. So she found some Red Heart Curly Q, which has this elastic in it. Really soft and squishy, just fun. So,
like a fun little
add
hat.
it to the stash. Yeah.
This cane looks like a mess. I don't know what they did to it in the store, but I was
No,
like,
it's all like taped up.
somebody was brutal to that thing. We have our giveaway for our accessory knit along. Thank you to everyone who participated. It was
a lot.
so much fun looking at all of your finished projects. I loved it.
Yes, it was so fun.
We used random number generator, and we did the numbers off camera, so we didn't sit here bumbling around for 10 minutes like we did when we did it.
First time I tried to do that.
So the hand spun was first.
Yes, and the winner is number 25, Patters 542, and her name is Paula.
And she's from Cleveland, Ohio. Woohoo! Ohio,
Congratulations!
So this will go to you. It was the 60% merino, 40% bamboo, and the magneto colorway, and it is some crazy amount of yardage.
Hand spun.
612 yards of a hand spun. It's obviously latest weight, so that's coming to you. Huzzah! The second one was for stitch markers. So we drew, and it was number 24. What are the odds of being 25 and then 24? But 24 was
DP Temple.
Diane.
She had made a hat.
It was very nice. She made the hats for Halos of Hope. So contact me, and we'll talk about what kind of stitch markers you want, what colors, whatever. Just let me know. I'll have that out to you. And last but not least, was a skein of knit picks that Lakshmi donated in the Tree Fort hand-painted colorway. Very nice. Very smooshy. And that went to
number 30, Word Lily.
Who is Hannah in Nebraska? I think it said.
Something like that.
Word Lily, whatever you are, I apologize. And she had socks. They were very cute. Orangey socks. So those are our lucky winners. How do you want to do shipping? Should they contact you or contact me?
How about contact you and then
Okay.
I'll pay you half for the
Okay. Contact me and I will send your stuff out to you. Congratulations. I think we're going to do another knit along soon-ish.
Yes. Once we figure out all the
What it's gonna
details
be.
and the prizes, we'll let you know.
So
thanks for everyone that participated.
yes, that was so cool. I didn't expect to have 40-some entries in our first knit along. It was so exciting.
Yes.
So thank you very much. Without you guys, that wouldn't have been any fun at all.
No.
So, yeah, I really enjoy whenever you guys post on our board on Ravelry. I'm always like, they're talking to us.
I know. I'm always checking to see if there's new posts or
Yeah, my husband does too.
and-
Did you see that so-and-so posted? And I'm like, oh, okay, let me go check. Oh, which, by the way, very quickly, last week's episode, we said hi to Hazel, and apparently Hazel's partner, Angie, was like, they said your name! So, I wanted to say, hi, Angie!
Hi, Hazel. Hi, Angie.
So, I think that's about it for this week.
Okay, I think
Have
so.
a good week. Keep on knitting.
Yep. Happy knitting. See you next time.
Have a good week.
Bye.